Good morning, everyone. Coach Jason Capson here. A lot of people have been asking me about my injury, so I thought I would go into detail here today about what happened exactly and how the healing process is going. Clinically, or I guess medically speaking, it was a distal biceps tendon rupture. So in other words, the entire bicep detached from the bone, rolled up into my armpit. It detached at the forearm where the tendon is attached. And there was a rupture, clean, the whole thing rolled up. Some people do have partial bicep tears where the fibers get torn. I've had muscle tears like that in the past, and as a general rule, when you've got a partial tear, they don't do surgery. They tend to just let it heal on its own. Luckily, mine was a complete tendon rupture, and it did detach completely and rolled up and required surgery. Now, I joke because people ask me what happened, and I say, I wish I could say I was training. I wish I could say that I was fighting off a pack of ninjas. That wasn't the case, excuse me. As mentioned in a previous video, I was moving to barbecue. I was actually training the day before. I was actually lifting weights the day before. I was in a groove. I was feeling great. My nutrition was on point. My exercise, everything was on point. This was just a freak accident. And that happens, especially in my life. Things like this just tend to happen. So I was holding the barbecue. I think I told the story before. I'm going to tell it again. I was holding the barbecue, and the gentleman who purchased the barbecue was down below on the stairs. We were carrying it down the stairs, and I had one arm on the railing, and the other arm was holding the barbecue. And it was a pretty expensive barbecue. Expensive. Well, it was expensive, but it was pretty heavy. That's what I was trying to say. It doesn't matter that it was expensive. It was a heavy barbecue. And when I felt the first pop, of course, my initial reaction was to look down and, just kind of see where that popping sound came from. But I didn't want to let go of the barbecue because it would have crushed this poor guy. So I held on tighter, and that was the problem. So then it was just pop, 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 rip, and the whole thing came off. So it did detach from the forearm. And now there's going to be a few images here that may be a little bit disturbing. I should warn people some people are queasy, but I will show you the staples. One of the incisions. There was actually two incisions, one at the top of the forearm, one below the forearm, or just, I guess, above the forearm on the biceps, but it was lower. I was a little concerned. Those of you that know me know I have a full sleeve tattoo, and I have my two daughters' names on my biceps, one Jaden and one says Janika. When he was talking about the surgery where he was going to put the incision, it was actually right on the J for Jaden. Now, luckily, when I got the wrap taken off, I did get to see where the scar is or where the cut is. And it's not on the J, so the J was saved. But anyways, two incisions. And so I had the surgery. Luckily, I got in within a couple of hours. Orthopedic surgeon was there. There was an OR available. So I did get in. And that was a lucky break for me, because with this kind of an injury, you do want to try to get surgery as quickly as possible. You don't want to put it off. I've had some friends who've had similar type injuries, and my business partner Ryan didn't get the surgery, and now his bicep is sitting a little bit higher. And it's one of those things where if you can get it done and get it done quickly, before things start it's harder when things start to harden up. So 2 hours I was in, they did the surgery. It was about an hour and a half in the OR, and then recovery started, and some interesting things there. I don't take medications as a rule, so of course they've got you filled with pain meds. And when I got out of the operating room and into recovery, of course they had me on Dilaudid and all that kind of a thing. But when I left the hospital the next day, they gave me the prescription for Dilaudid, and I did get it filled out, but I didn't take any. I took Tylenol 3 the first day, and then after that I took none. Now, and again, I'm not recommending that people do that. I just felt that for me, so that the pain was actually important to me. It's going to sound very bizarre, but the pain was there. So, and it was always a constant reminder not to use it. The pain was setting in. I could have masked it with the drugs, but I didn't. I felt the pain, but that kept me sort of on my toes. It kept me aware that this was an injury, and to not do anything silly, because I'm right-handed too, so that made it a little more difficult. But I didn't take any of the pain meds during the entire recovery, except for the first day. Like I say, I took T3. 2 weeks went by, and I was scheduled to go in and get the staples out, which I did. And now, in my little pea brain, I thought that when I went in for my 2-week checkup and get the staples out, I thought that I was going to be able to shower. I thought that I was going to be able to drive. I thought that I was going to be able to start stretching it out, maybe doing a little bit of exercise. But I guess I don't know why I thought that, but I guess that was in my head. But this is a tendon rupture. This is something that was completely detached. It's going to take time to heal. I didn't think I'd have to keep wearing this sling, but it is a 6-week recovery phase. That first phase, it's 2 weeks, you get the staples out, then another 4 weeks in the sling, and then I go in to get the x-ray done and to see the orthopedic surgeon so he can check to see how things are healing up. Then I will start the rehab process, which starts with moving your wrist and moving your elbows and just doing some very, very light things. They want it to heal tight, so you have to be careful. And the doctor did tell me point blank, if you go too fast in the healing, or if you damage it again, if it tears again, there is no second surgery. It's a one and done kind of a thing. If this tears again, it's going to stay up in my armpit. So that was a good warning, especially for someone like me who I want to heal faster than my body probably can. I've lost 15 pounds, which is not good, but and I know a lot of that's muscle. I feel it's just being fat skinny is not my favorite place to be, and that's kind of what I am right now. I'm losing some muscle, and I haven't been eating the best, I haven't been sleeping the best. It's all that stuff. So all those things kind of add up. So I'm going to try to get back on track this week. I'm actually going to try to get into the gym because there is studies. I have a friend who's an orthopedic surgeon, and he mentioned to me that there are studies that show that exercise contralateral, so in other words, this arm, if I use my left arm, it will increase, there's science that shows that it will increase the strength and the recovery of the right side. So he told me, start doing arm curls, start doing tricep push down, start doing, or whatever you can, start working the left side and training my legs as well. And I'm going to do some bike. I'm not going to do the treadmill in case I fall off, but I am going to start exercising because I think that's very, very important for recovery, the release of those endorphins. It helps increase testosterone, which will help the healing process, GH, all that good stuff. So I am going to get back into the gym this next week. Now, interestingly enough, I am moving in the next few days, which is just mind-blowing, but because I can't do anything. And literally when I say I can't do anything, these things that we take for granted, things like tweezers. Do you ever try to use tweezers with your left hand? I've got eyebrows. When you get a little bit older, this is an insider's tip for those of you that are getting a little bit older. When you get a little bit older, hair, what is up with that? Eyebrows, these things turn into skipping ropes. I can hold them out to here. I don't know what that is. Little hairs on your ears. It's just a weird thing when you get older. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of hair, clearly. But these things, this hair's gone, this hair's growing. It's weird. But tweezers with your left hand, it's sad. Going to the washroom, I mentioned, left-handed, not tricky, very, very tricky. Cooking, try cooking. I'm used to cooking 5-6 times a day, or 5-6 meals a day, I should say, but I'm used to cooking every single day. That's difficult with one hand. Driving, not allowed to drive. You're not allowed to drive with this injury because insurance won't cover it. So I'm not allowed to drive. It's really at a 50-year-old man relying on his daughter and people in general to drive me to places and pick me up. I feel like I'm a 13-year-old boy again, and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of that lack of freedom. I understand why. Shower, not allowed to shower. I wasn't allowed to shower for the first 2 weeks and a little bit. So I had my first shower last night. Oh, the best shower ever. Best shower ever. So before that, I was having baths with the left hand. Not good. Cleaning, imagine that. Cleaning, opening bottles, just opening bottles. Again, tricky stuff when you have one arm. It really makes you appreciate the little things, cracking eggs, texting, typing, all that kind of stuff that we just take for granted. Working a mouse, like it just, anyhow, that's my whining for the moment. So again, this process, I've got 4 more weeks in this sling, not allowed to do anything, not allowed to drive still. Basically, the staples came out, nothing else changed. I'm not allowed to drive, I'm not allowed to move it, I'm not allowed to exercise, I'm not allowed to stretch, I'm not allowed to do anything like that. Now, not allowed to exercise, I'm not allowed to exercise this, but I am gonna start working my left side, I am gonna train my legs, and I'm gonna get some cardio in. So once that's done, and then at the end of the month, end of September, I have my follow-up session with the orthopedic surgeon who did the surgery. That'll be 6 weeks in after the surgery. And at that point, I'm gonna get another x-ray to see how it's healing. And he will give me the green light to start doing rehab. And I'm gonna go see my friend Johnny for some rehab on this. And hopefully we can get it healed up faster than the 6 months that they say it's gonna take. It takes about 6 months to fully heal from this injury, and you don't want to go fast. You don't want to go back. You just take your time, because it's not worth. I don't want this to ever happen again. This is brutal. People are asking me about the pain. It was possibly the most painful thing I've ever been through in my life, and I've had some injuries. I've had broken bones. I've had muscle tears. I've had all kinds of things. It was very, very, very painful. I went into shock, thank goodness. In fact, I actually helped to move the barbecue with my left hand while this one was completely gone, like on the grass to get it out to the front. And then I was going to drive myself to the hospital, but my daughter luckily was home. She drove me to the hospital, which was probably a good thing in hindsight. So glad that happened. So I'm going to start my workouts next week. I'll let you know how that goes. I'm going to start doing a little bit of work, like cardio for sure, and then working out with my left side to see if that helps at all. So onward and upward, it is, no fun. Being injured is never fun. This injury is more than I expected. Well, I didn't expect it at all, but the recovery time is longer than I had hoped for. But again, it's one of those things. I will do what I got to do. I'm going to listen to the doctors. I'm getting lots of advice from some good friends and some professionals. So I'm going to listen to the guys at Rehab 1. I'm going to do my rehab properly, and I'm going to do what the doctor says, because at my age, I have to listen to the experts, and I just got to do what I got to do. So come along for the ride. And so this video was interesting. Distal biceps tendon rupture, and the journey through, the journey through the repair and the journey through better. I'm going to be better than I've ever been when this is all said and done. So I'm going to bring you along for that ride. So hope you enjoy the journey. I hope you are taking care of yourself. I hope you're getting your water in. I hope you are finding time to exercise and finding time. Take advantage of, take it from me, take advantage of the time that you've got. Exercise, get that proper nutrition in, get the water in, do all those good things. Supplementation, I'm going to have to start upping my vitamin C. I found that out. There's some other things I'm going to be taking that will hopefully help the healing process. Omegas help, those kinds of things. So get that stuff in, take care of yourself, take care of your health. Wow, I can't emphasize that enough. Take care, guys.